Such a cool guy, such a handsome guy, just a guy that I miss the most because I haven't seen him. He's one of my brothers. He's an amazing friend. He's just amazing. I love that guy. And I'm happy for you guys to join. If you want to stay as long as you want. It's an hour to 6 to 7. We're just going to be talking about how careers come along and you're like, man, it's hard to change into something you truly believe in. And I'm going through that too right now because it's hard to leave something that you're comfortable with. That's just the truth. But now he has changed to something he's passionate about. It was scary, but now he's going to do it. And we're going to talk about it the whole time and just figure it out. It's going to be an hour. It's going to be a good time. And also, I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. And I love you guys a lot. Thank you for being here. And if you stay, you stay. If you don't, you don't. But guys, thank you for joining anyways. I'm trying to eat dinner before it hits 6. Alright guys, it's almost 6. Gotta eat fast. Alright. I am going to join him now. Ask him to join. Hopefully he joins. And guys also. Hey bud!
Hey, what's up, bud?
Dude, what's up, man? It's been a while.
Yes, it has. It's good to see you,
So,
dude.
dude, welcome to the Everyone Show.
Man, it's good to be here.
Alright, so,
Great.
hey man, tell everybody about yourself a little bit.
So, I'm born and raised in Tomball, Texas. Spencer grew up here too, and we both know that this is a town that's like it's hard to get out. It's
It's the
really
most boringest town ever.
yeah, it's pretty boring. So I grew up here with my 5 other siblings. I'm a twin, and we try to make the best of it, of this boring town. It started pretty small. It's not so small anymore, but we all grew up homeschooled, so we did a lot of stuff that we lived right down the road from a high school. We got to see what high schoolers did. We wanted to do what high schoolers did, but we couldn't. So we did our best. We played airsoft. We we played in go-karts. We rode bikes in ditches. Like we rode down the road. We did a lot of that stuff. But yeah, so growing up in Tomball,
It was
um,
boring.
it's boring.
Honestly, like, our group really made it fun. I would
Yeah.
have to say. I think the last couple of years, our group really made it fun. We all grew up. You got the tiny house, and it just made it a good time.
Yeah, it was fun before the tiny house, to be honest.
Yeah, man.
It
I
was.
mean, we were always just a bunch of kids trying to do something for sure. But
It, we
so
yeah,
my
for sure.
first question to you, man. So what this is about is that one of the reasons why I want to talk to you, because a lot of people struggle with this, is that I have struggled with it too. Just being brave enough to exchange to something you're passionate about because of all the loved ones that might be there, all the judgment, all the people hating on you, really just finding that passion. My first question to you through this process is 2020 to you was emotional. Just for me being there and watching you. Tell me about that a little bit. Why was it so emotional and why was it so hard for you?
I think it was hard for me because um, I just didn't know what I was supposed to do with my life. I really didn't. Um, I constantly took little things. Some people would say, whether it be my parents or friends. I mean, even you, and I would take everyone's advice and try and make it into like what Levi should do.
Yep.
And I couldn't actually get out of my own comfort zone and go, okay, and ask myself the honest question is, what do I want to do? So, um, that was the really hard part about 2020 is being honest with myself and telling myself that it's okay to not do what everyone expects you to do. And one of the biggest things that happened in 2020 actually was I left a job that I made good money at. I made a lot of money, like the most I've ever made in my life. And when I realized that that wasn't my deal and that I had to actually that I had to shed that was suffocating like every that flame in me, that desire for like to get everything out of life that I can.
Yeah.
It was suffocating that. So I quit that job, and that was just the beginning. It's like
Yeah.
once I quit it, it wasn't like a huge door was open and I could see everything. Like I knew my path. It's funny. I thought it would be that way. I did think it was going to be that way, but it wasn't.
Okay. All right, man. So, what is something you overcame that was the hardest for you? Like, you were talking about what was that one emotion? You said you were always trying to compare yourself to others and listening to others and try to just make everyone happy. Was that your hardest emotion, trying to make everyone else's happy? And then for finally that you decided that I'm going to make myself happy and decide what I wanted to do?
It it was definitely the people pleaser in me. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'd
what
say it was for sure.
So then what was my question? Why did you want to be a people pleaser? What made you just decide I want to please everyone around me and make everyone happy and not myself happy? What was why
I
did
don't
you
I don't know, man. That's actually a really good question. Like my earliest memory of doing something that I didn't want to do, but I know it would make someone else happy was, and a lot of people know this, I was over at some Thanksgiving party or whatever, some event at one of my friend's parents' house. I was like 6 years old. And man, I wanted for the strangest reason to clean their bathroom. And I didn't want to do it, but I knew I was good at it back home. And I knew I got props for it back home. I knew that when Levi cleaned the bathroom, it was like, that was a good job. And I straight up did that. Like I did that for them, and I didn't know really why I was doing it. All I knew is that I guess the why behind it was like, this is gonna this is gonna make me look good. It was actually it was a selfish thing. It looked selfless, but it was a selfish thing.
so you just really wanted the reality check of just getting goodness to you. Just being like, "Oh, you're fucking amazing, man." Do you feel like you
Exactly.
didn't
Yeah.
did you feel like you didn't get that enough when you were younger? And that's why it became such a big habit when you got older?
Uh no, I think I did get that enough. And my siblings would say I got that enough too, because the running joke in the house is Levi's perfect, Levi's perfect. Like growing up, all of my siblings would say that shit. They would all be like, well, not the oldest sibling. My oldest sister, she it was known she was flawless. She was perfect. Nobody could had anything on her. But I think the second down was me. I mean, I had my twin and my younger brother
Yeah.
Malachi. Those guys would bash me all the time because they're like, "You're always like, perfect. Like you don't do anything wrong, or you think you don't do anything wrong." They knew I did shit wrong, but I was good at hiding it. I was good at hiding the wrong stuff I did, and I was really good at making the little things I would do like known and obvious. They were
So
like
then
good.
and that was the image you wanted to keep basically.
Yeah.
So you said that you transferred into another job, that you worked hard, and you finally decided to do that. But what was that day? What was that time you were just like, what made you wake up and just say, I gotta get out of this. I'm tired of pleasing people. I want to be happy. What was that day? What was that time? What was that moment that it was in your head that just said, it's time. I'm tired of this. What made you want to do it?
Man, I was already awake. I was awake when it happened, and I remember it clearly. I was in New Mexico. Buddy invited me to a ski house to hang out there for a weekend over Thanksgiving. I went up there, and the job I was in was a sales job. And so every new person was a prospect. Like that's what it is. When you're a sales guy, every new person's a prospect. So I went up there and I was like, I'm going to sell this person something. Like I'm going to do that. And when I met the family and when I hung out with them and had dinner and shared like cocoa on a freezing ass porch, and I was having a good time, and everything in me said, why would you ruin this? Like, why would you ruin this good moment with just trying to like make an extra buck? Like, I had my camera gear with me, like the little camera gear I have, man. I brought it with me, and I was it. I honestly looked between the camera and what was in my mind, what was on my mind, and I was like, which one do you want? Like, quit lying to yourself and saying that you want this job when you have a perfect opportunity. Really good salespeople wouldn't have passed that up. I mean, they really wouldn't. But everything in me said, no, it just doesn't feel right. So, yeah, man, I picked up my camera gear and I took pictures and videos, and on the mountain, around the family, with the family, and we had a really good time. We had an awesome time, and I'm really glad it happened. I think it was, I mean, I don't, yeah, I just think it was really good that that happened. Meant to be, man.
That's amazing, man. That really is. It's really amazing to be able to say, I'm finally going to do something I believe in. But for me, the experiences I went through, to go through, to find something I believe in, be passionate about, and truly say, hey, guys, I do this, and be proud of it and be brave of it. What was the scariest part for you to transition into that? Because I
Like
know
when I
my scariest part.
realized,
What was your
uh,
scariest part?
I'm sorry, could you ask that question in a different way?
What was the feeling inside you? Were you scared? Were you angry? What was that feeling that you were transitioning to the passion you want? What was it? What was the scariness of it? Were you scared to move?
No, that
Were you?
initial feeling, I felt like I just took the best jump I'd ever taken.
That's
Like
amazing.
I felt like I was flying, man. And when I came back home, I didn't wait a second. I told my business partner that I wasn't going to be able to work with him anymore, and I've been working with him the last 5 years. Um, I told my parents I was done. My siblings, I couldn't wait to tell my siblings. Like I was just like, I'm out of this business.
That's awesome.
It was great. The fear came when I looked at like what it took still to be good at video, photos, camera stuff, and I was like, okay, I know now what I want to do, but this is really scary, and I'm kind of pissing myself over here because I see the really good guys and how awesome they are at what they do, and how did they get there?
Yep.
You know, that's the question, and it just there's no other answer than constant grind. And so I was scared when I realized like that there has to be a constant grind to make it to make it worth it.
Dude, that's amazing. So let's talk about the little bit of journey to get to that point right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you and me trained for a long time together. I feel like that was your first step to your mental process of us thinking
For
together.
sure. Yeah.
And so what was it like training with me? What was you saying? Your first reaction that comes to mind? What was it like training with
My ass hurts. Yeah. No, absolutely. It was like I want to hit Spencer. That's the first thought. That's to answer your question. That's just the first thought. But the last towards the end and even in the middle, I was like, I saw it. You know, you just kept showing me it's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off. And it did, but for a long time, it was just like my ass hurts. Like
Yep.
this sucks, man. Why do you have me out here at 4 in the morning, bear crawling in the rain, and it's 30 degrees? Like this is asinine, you know. And then right after that, you have the balls to tell me you can't eat that Pop-Tart, by the way. Like you can't. Like just stick to rice and beans for the day.
Yep.
And it was just like it was miserable, but I saw that it was so hard, but I saw after a couple months what that actually does, and it mentally too. I think mentally that helped me just as much as it did physically.
That's amazing. And
It was just yeah,
that's my
it was just
next
showing
question to
that the
that, man.
grind. What's up?
That's my next question. What was one of the hardest things mentally about working out for you, and how did you overcome it?
That it was just that the hard work is gonna pay off. Like being in the grind and not not focusing so much on like just how it won't work out or how it will, but just do it. Like, I mean, there's a reason why the Nike swoosh is like, and that's a slogan for them. Just do it. Like that. That's very true. If you don't think about it and you just do it and get it done, at the end of it, you're going to look back and you go, "Damn, like that wasn't so bad. I'm I'm really okay right now."
That's amazing because I remember that conversation we had together about that exact same subject. You
Yeah,
asked me we went to Chick-fil-A Fridays, the good old
Chick-fil-A
times.
Fridays, absolutely. Those are
So,
the
guys, we would go to Chick-fil-A on Friday because me and Levi just got done with an ass raping of a week of working out. And one day, me and Levi would just always talk. We would just talk for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just anything we had to say. That's not, we just needed to talk. That was really our talking
you
time.
shove burritos in our mouth.
Yeah, we shoved burritos in our mouth and we just talked to each other, basically. And I remember you specifically telling me, you asked me, I just knew you just weren't feeling good. So I asked you as just a friend who saw. And usually you wouldn't tell me exactly. It took you a while, in my opinion, for a while for you to really just be personal with me and to talk to me about your emotions and everything as friends, because it just takes a while for best friends to come in that area.
It
And
does.
you told me, and I feel like this was the first conversation you and me really connected with, and like that you trusted that I understood what you were saying. When you came up to me and said, "Dude, how do I keep going? What is this for?" I feel like that was a really big question for you for a long time. What is this for? And I see now you're starting to figure out that that question doesn't affect you anymore. You know what it's for. You see this process. You want to become a photographer. You left your job to become a photographer. You worked out, but figured out that's not exactly what you wanted. You figured out that was bad for you. You mentally fixed yourself. You physically fixed yourself. And you did all these things. You became close to your friends, and you just emotionally came to everyone and said, "Hey, I'm tired of saying I can't do this no more. I'm having a hard time. I'm just going to do it and see how it goes." I feel like that
Mm-hmm.
was the hardest step because of the fact you always wanted to show everyone, I can clean this and be perfect. For
Yeah,
once, you were like, I can't be perfect at this, but I'm going to give it my best shot. And I feel
yeah,
like that's what I saw you come out and working out. That you didn't have to be perfect, but you just had to give it your best shot.
that's it. That's really it. I mean, when I go out there and work out, it was it was difficult for a long time, and just to be honest with myself why I was out there every day. I mean, once I knew why I was out there, once I figured it out, it wasn't like that mindset stayed. Like it was a battle every day going
Yep.
into it, saying, just like it is with my passion, I wake up and I don't want to sit down at the computer and edit, and just like I didn't want to do bear crawls. But when I'm honest with myself and why I'm doing it, and it's a good reason, then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get up at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna grind it out. But if it's a bad reason, like for working out, if I was doing it to impress a girl, if I was doing it because I wanted that extra compliment from a coworker, like you're looking swole today, that stuff is gonna run out. Girls aren't gonna look at you all the time. Coworkers aren't gonna compliment you all the time,
Yep.
and if you're doing it because you just want to challenge yourself and you want to show yourself that you're capable of doing the unthinkable, then that was my reason.
Yeah, I remember that. That's actually was my next question for you, actually, that you just answered. It
Yeah.
says, what would make you quit working out? I remember that. You would always come up to me and say, it was just the girl situation. It was
Oh yeah.
always the girl situation. You would always, no
That
matter
that
what,
yeah,
it
that
was,
shit beat my ass.
yeah, it wasn't about you wanted to look good for girls. I remember that. For
Oh
the
yeah.
longest time, that was your motivation, just to look good for girls.
That was a
And yeah,
god, dude.
it just, dude, just talking to you today, it's just so different from talking to you back then because you just didn't really, dude, how does it sound that you used to only go work out for girls and now you know your actual reason? That working out taught you that even though you quitted, it taught you that, hey, I don't need just to work out for girls and show good affection from people. That this working out taught me that I gotta grind.
Yeah.
dude, God was with you that whole path, telling you, trying to give you that answer. Be like, dude, think about yourself and tell you that you can grind. That's amazing. That whole process.
You were with me there too, bro. I mean, you were screaming behind me. So
Yeah, I was.
I heard more Spencer's voice than God's those days, to be completely honest.
All right, man. So my next question to this is talk about your insurance job.
Oh,
You used to
okay.
work on insurance for a long time, like a
I did.
long time. That was the stuff you strived for. You loved
Yeah.
it. At the
And
moment, at the beginning of time, you loved it. What made you stop? What was that? Why would you stop insurance? Even though a lot of people would stay for money, a lot of people would stay just for the fact of their family, because you worked for your dad. All those things. That's such a hard way to just say, fuck it, I'm going to stop doing it. Because you have
yeah.
bills to pay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm feeling it now. Um, I got right out of high school when I was 17 and I started working at an insurance agency. Like I wasn't an insurance agent yet. I just started working, issuing ID cards. Somebody would complain about their bill. I was doing phone calls every day for a year and a half. And I got really good at that, and I got really good at understanding insurance. So people told me, good job. Like, good job, Levi. You did a good job at cleaning that toilet, right? Um, so I was like, okay, I'm good at this. Like, I don't see anything else that I'm good at, I guess. Even though at the time I had like taken a big trip and I had gone and I had filmed it with a drone and a camera, and I didn't even see that, like, because that wasn't the recognized work. The recognized work was the phone curls. So I was like, I need to go with the recognized work. So I did that, and then I got my insurance license, and then I started selling insurance, and then I got told, hey, every single time I sold a policy, right, it was like, oh, good job. But when I didn't sell a policy, it was like, my
Fuck
dad
you.
would
Yeah.
my dad wouldn't tell me this, but I always felt it from other salespeople in the business. They would just be like, so when are you going to sell something? Like, that was the question. When are you going to sell something? And I just always hated that question. It was such a, like, you only do a good job when you sell something,
Yep.
when money is involved. And I was like, why does everything have to be about damn money? And in that business, it is. Like, no matter how much people say, it's about teamwork, it's about this, at the end of the day, if there isn't a check written for a policy or credit card number taken, you suck, man. You suck. And I was okay at it, but I wasn't the best, and I never wanted to be the best. I just wanted to please people in it. So then, when I figured out that I'm here for one reason, and the only reason is to prove a point, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, man. So was that you were pressured? Do you feel like you were ever pressured to stay?
No, not by anyone else but myself.
Okay.
I talk to my parents a lot. I talk to my siblings a lot about how I feel about the business, how I feel about working with family, how I feel with doing something that I know I'm not going to be in forever. Like, I never thought I would be in it forever. There wasn't that. It was just like, hey, I might do this for 10 years, which I was halfway there. But no, yeah, that was how I felt about that. I mean,
Dude, I would have to say I felt like there was a few moments of time where I wasn't that good yet to really responding to people emotionally, and just really just being able to be in the moment and actually give people advice, or actually people just sit there and help them.
mm-hmm.
At those times in the beginning of it, when you would always ask me, you're like, I'm gonna do insurance for the next 10 years, I would always say, do you love it? And then you would always ask me, no, I don't love it. I don't know what I love. And I would always try to tell you,
Yeah,
hey, find something you love and everything like that. And I always felt like a jerk. I've noticed that I said that a lot to you. And I felt like a jerk for a while after I noticed that that was not something I should be saying to you at all. I felt like a really big jerk.
you know, it's not bad that you did. When I think about all the things that made me decide what I want to do, it was like those little moments when you'd say, when you challenge me, when anyone would challenge me, you know, you were the one who would challenge me the most.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a bad thing. Because it made me stop lying to myself. When you'd go, hey, what is it you really want to do? And I was like, I'm doing what I want to do. And you're like, no, I don't think so. And I was like,
You would get so mad at me.
Yeah, I would get pissed, and I would get pissed because it was true. And I knew that the only way out was gonna be rough. You know, telling my dad after working with him 5 years, I'm out. I mean, I don't have a son, but I know that has to kind of hurt a little bit after 5 years being like, this is going to be my partner. And then it's like, peace. I didn't want to do that. So, I mean, a lot of that kept me in.
Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit. Tell them about your dad's situation. You worked with your dad, and for me personally, that was one of the things I was trying to get out of you. That would be the most scariest thing for me. That would make me not want to leave, to disappoint my dad.
You've never
worked. I've been there.
What I mean, have you worked for your dad before in anything?
No. But what happened with me was I owed my dad a lot of money. He knew that. But I feel like if I didn't give him that money and give him that paychecks and make him feel happy that I was working hard, I was just disappointing him.
Yeah.
And I feel like I might be able to relate a little bit, but not as much because of the fact you worked with him. That must have been really hard for you to walk away from that.
So the business side, I always thought we could keep business and personal life separate. But when things were going wrong in the business, things were going wrong in our personal lives. So if I missed a meeting in the business, on the personal life, even after I clocked out, it was like I got, you know, there were looks. And same for me. If I heard him on the phone, I'm not a super salesy guy, but if I heard him on the phone, like, you know, being really salesy and saying stuff that I'm like, you know, you probably shouldn't say that, it would just affect the way I thought about my dad outside of work. Like, I noticed that after years, my brothers would they were one way to him, and I was another way.
Yeah.
They were like, this is dad, and I was like, okay, this is Bobby. He was always Bobby to me. He was no longer.
I remember you used to start calling him Bobby.
Oh yeah, it started as that because I mean, when you're in a meeting of like 40 people, you don't be like, hey, Dad. But
but yeah, man, like I noticed, I'm thinking about that now, but you used to call him Bobby. You would get more frustrated with him more easily. Is that because you broke off? Do you feel like you saved your relationship with your dad? Even though it might not be where it is now, but do you think you saved your relationship with your dad?
Hang on. That's my cat.
Taz?
Yeah, it's Taz.
I haven't seen Taz in so long. Oh, Taz, you're doing a hairball thing.
She's doing a hairball. She's about to do a hairball in my house.
You fix that. You can fix that right now if you need to.
No, it's okay.
Okay. So.
Okay, can you ask your question again?
Absolutely. So what I'm saying is, do you think you saved, I know you saved yourself by leaving that industry, but also do you think you saved your relationship with your dad because you left?
I think it put it on the right path again. It didn't necessarily make it better right away, but it put it on the right path. I think it's where I wanted it to be. And that's what was important. It wasn't where my siblings thought it should be. It wasn't where he thought it should be. It was where I felt good about it.
That's amazing. Where is that right now? When I left, it wasn't as the best way it could be. How's that going?
It's fine. It really is.
That's amazing.
There's no tension. I mean, a lot of people probably here don't know, but I live in a tiny house and it's 50 feet away from my parents' house. That's for a while that was weird. It's not weird at all.
That's a
I mean,
dude.
he'll come over, he'll smoke a cigar. My mom will come out too.
That's
Um,
awesome.
we hang out, man.
Dude, because I know you were really worried about that. You
Yeah.
just weren't happy about that, and I'm happy that it's changed. It's really good news. I'm really happy with that.
Yeah,
So,
there was definitely a time where it was weird, but right now, man, it's good.
dude, that's amazing. I'm happy you guys are back. So, I feel like you and me have become brothers, personally, in the last year. We really have connected. How do you feel that how did it affect you that I left? Did it affect you at all? Because it affected me, honestly. There's a little part of me that's actually affected
Yeah,
about leaving you. Because with Malachi, he's my best friend, my brother. There's a little bit of difference, but for you, it was different. For you, I feel like you and me were always emotional with each other. I was the most emotional with you. You were the first person I told that I was a liar. I was ashamed of myself. I thought I was gay. All these things. Like, you were the first person I ever told about any of those things. You've always been the first person I've told about things because I felt like you could understand the most. And I felt like when I left, any problems I was having with Miriam or just with any of my life, I felt like I've lost my person I can talk to emotionally about all these things. And that's the thing that's most affected me the most.
so your question to me is, how did it affect you when you left?
Yeah. Did it affect you at all?
Yeah, man. I mean, I was stoked, but I just remember the way you acted. I remember the way you reacted when I left, and I was like, he's not going to be sad because he's like, you're going to see the guy at some point again.
Yeah.
It's it's all good. Like, there's stuff that needs to be sorted out that they got to do. Like, you're not gonna be texting him, calling him every day, but like you're gonna talk again. And really, at the end of the day, I was like, we're gonna talk again.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay, and here we are. Um, but it's like the emotional side, like of like, hey, where'd my friend go? There have definitely been some days where I'm with the boys, and I'm like, damn, where's that tall motherfucker? Like, where we need him. This would be a great moment. Spencer would laugh his ass off at this. Like, things have happened where I'm like, no one else would have found that funny but Spencer. Like, there's like, yeah, that's it for me, man. I mean,
Because I'm like, for like the first, like, I would say like month, it's been a month now. First 3 weeks, I wasn't feeling it, but like now I'm starting to feel it a little bit. Like, man, I need to go hang out with my boys. Like, I just need one night. I don't need like 5 or 6 nights. I just need one night just to be like, hey, how you
Yeah.
guys doing? I miss
Yeah.
the shit out of you guys. And for you, I really figured out how much like my best friends I've missed out of them personally. And for you, it's the emotional side of just overall for me. Like, you were I came to you the most about emotional stuff. You were the
Yeah.
first person that never judged me. You did not give a shit. That's one of the things I loved about you. You would never judge. And I do the same thing, but I felt like I've learned a little bit about you. Because when we're working out, it all connects. Because when we're working out, you would come up to me, you would be the bravest one to come up to my face and say, dude, you're being mean. Dude, you're being hard. You need to feel how I'm feeling. Because you were the most feelings ones when we worked out. And I couldn't understand you. Because in my family, it was so hard to say feelings because they would just put it down to the ground. And so when I was I figured out how to be emotional and talk to everyone because of you a little bit. And I felt like I missed that a little bit mostly.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I didn't. I did. I did notice that was kind of the way it was when we would work out and stuff. Like, everyone had their different way they would act, but for me, it was like I, for some reason, felt like I could be that way to you. I was like, I'm just gonna. I mean, you were my friend, but I knew that like you would also understand where I'm coming from a little bit.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's get away from all the sad stuff a little bit and talk about the good times. So this boy's got a tiny house, everyone. This boy's got a tiny house.
This is
Levi,
it.
what would you say? You and me, we have a lot of moments at the tiny house. What was the last moment that you can think of right now that was just crazy? That was like, oh my god, like we're at a freaking tiny house, we're having a great ass time. What was the last moment of you and me? Because you and me, when we set up parties, we would be party people.
Yeah,
What was the craziest party moment?
Oh man, the craziest party moment? Oh, I can think of one right now. This man, so this is my shoebox. This man got so crunk one night, he stuck his whole, like, as much of his body inside this box as he could and pumped the music up and blasted the lights, and he was good. He was good. That was a crazy time. I mean, dude, you've been passed out on this floor before. I mean, you were up in the loft. There's been endless good times in here, man. I don't regret any of them. I would say, boy, man, I do miss that. There aren't parties like there used to be in here. Like, seriously, dude, we haven't had one in a while.
Dude, dude, I miss the parties. I know if I was there right now, I'd be drunk with you right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, man, there's vodka in the back over there.
Oh, man, I promise, man, we would be taking shots for sure. But, man, what I miss about the tiny house is that's like the golden hours. Like, you walk there, there's about 5 boys there, always.
Always, yeah.
Always. We would always party. The last memory I remember, it was the Halloween party. You and me were really, really drunk, or I was really out of it. You bought us Whataburger.
Oh, yeah.
And we were eating Whataburger in the sink. And what was that? I left.
Oh, no, okay. I know this one. I go and get this man a Whataburger. And actually, no, I'm sorry. I got it for me. But this boy looks so dang hungry that I was like, I can't not give him some of this. So I'm like, do you want some burger? And he was like, can I? You know, he was so excited. And so I cut the burger in half, and I'm putting mine on a plate, and I go to put his on a plate, and he goes, no, can't wait. And he takes the whole burger, goes over the sink, and just starts munching down on this thing, man, like real animal style, like nasty. And like shit's lettuce and tomatoes like plopping into the sink, and the sink is full of like dishes and Solo cups. Like it looked like a party happened. And so I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go eat my piece of the burger over the sink. So I go and eat mine, and we're just chatting. He's gone. I'm good. I'm party host, so I'm good. And this is what I was like, this man really doesn't care. He really doesn't care. A pickle drops out of my burger into a puddle of God knows what. And I'm like, he goes, Spencer looks at me and he goes, give me that pickle. And he picks the pickle out of the water, puts it on his burger, and eats it. And I choked on my burger, man. I can't even finish it. I'm just like, that was the nastiest thing I've ever seen, hands down. And then you couldn't stop laughing, and then everyone else was like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, that was gross, man. That was really nasty. That was definitely the nastiest thing I've ever seen you do.
Oh my god. Dude, we've done
How did that taste? How did that pickle taste, by the way?
Dude, it tasted like a wet pickle, bro. Oh man. We have had, dude, I'm just thinking about all the times. Everyone has been drunk, high, passed out on your floor at least once. Marion, Malachi, me, Jesse, multiple times. Why do you think your tiny house has all those memories? Why? What is your thought? Is it because it's a tiny house? Or is it like, because this is where everyone can be? Did you present it that way, where it's like, this is where my family's going to be?
Dude, I built it to Raven, honestly. I built it knowing that I was going to have the boys over, and I knew that there were going to be lots of people. I mean, I was 17 when I started this thing, right? So right. I had like a teenager's mindset. I was like, I want to have parties in here. Like, I was homeschooled, I've never been to big parties, but I can make a place where I can host big parties. And
Yep.
so I wanted to do that. I wanted to have my own party. And so I did. I had plenty of them. But yeah, I built it. I built it around like, like kind of how I wanted it to look. But the main goal, and that's why there's like actually a pretty decent amount of open space in here. The main
Yeah, it's
goal
amazing.
was let there be enough room for people. Like I want people to be in here.
And we have fit some people, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I think about 21 people have been in here once.
Yeah,
So
dude.
there's like, I mean, this house is like as big as some people's closets maybe.
Do
And
you do you think that you would have you made the tiny house and it's brought so many people joy? Do you think
I
it's
hope.
just brought so many people joy? Like, so if anyone walked into that house, it was like they had a smile on their face and they were gonna have a good time. What impression did that leave you?
It made me, dude, it made me think every time that it was worth every like crying hour I spent on this thing. I mean, because there were plenty of those hours. I mean, it took me 2 years to move into the place. So 17 to 19, just building it, pulling wire, pulling pecs, framing out windows, like doing sheetrock work. Like it's just like it was a mess. For 2 years, I did that. And it every time somebody was like, just looked at something or sat when I always love people sitting down. Like I was like, hey, have a seat, like I'll stand because I knew when they sat down, they just like felt comfortable because I know I know this place is comfortable. I want people to be comfortable. And so when they were comfortable, I was like, it's worth it. Like everything I did was worth it. It, it just paid off. It was like I cashed in every single time somebody.
All right, man. My one big question. I hope it's not me. I swear to God, if it's me, that sucks. Who has been the one who's messed up the most, left the most shit, has made the most scratches, who has been the most drunkest? Who has been that person? Is it you? Who in the friend group has been that person? Malachi? Malachi would say it's pretty top up for that list. Who is the most?
Dude, you fucked up the most. No,
Is it
you.
really me? Like,
Oh,
out of
yeah.
everyone?
Dude, so this guy's broken multiple wine glasses. He's shattered a tempered glass floating shelf.
With my head.
That shelf up there, it's my second shelf. He put his head through it because he was in a hurry to get to bed.
Dude.
He was in a hurry to go to sleep or something, but he put his head through that. And, dude, it's not just about breaking things. Talk about just like not having tiny house etiquette. You
Oh
left
my God.
you left your shoes in here all the time. Like too many times. I got so tired of throwing your shoes out in my yard that I honestly made a space for them. I was like, there just has to be room for Spencer's. Like that's how persuasive you were with like how you were gonna treat this place. You were just like, oh, you let me in here. Shoes, clothes. Yeah.
I'd be naked walking out of your house 24/7, basically.
24/7, dude.
Dude, 24/7. Dude, I've broken so many things around the tiny house. So many things. Lamps,
Yeah.
heads, Malachi's car window, my car window. There's so many things we can explain that I've broken. Dude, but
Yep.
I don't regret any of those. Those are such good memories. The tiny house will be there till we're dead. That's like the best crap ever. We will get away from our wives to go to that tiny house and say hi.
I sure hope so one day we can have like a reunion here like after years and years. But yeah, we'll see if it's still standing. It's feeling pretty solid right now, not gonna
Dude,
lie.
that's awesome. All right, man. So let's get away from the fun times. We talked about the emotionals. We talked about the fun times that we've had a little bit. Let's get in your passion now. Why did photography became your passion? Why photography?
Man, to me, a camera is like, it is a vehicle, like in my life. That it it's always taken me places. Like, I can take as many trips as I want, but and you know, go visit big cities or national parks. There's
Oh, I think you muted. Oh, there you go. There you came back. Never mind.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're a little off too. You're like glitchy.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, can hear you. Yep, cool. Yeah. So, it's a vehicle to me, dude. I mean, it really does. Like, I kind of just follow it where it takes me. You know, first I see something, and then I see it, and I go, I kind of want to capture that in a certain way. I want to, I want to isolate that moment. I want to isolate that area, and I just follow it until I get it. You know, and those moments are happening all of the time.
Dude, that's
So
amazing. That really is amazing. To find that passion, that truly
yeah,
is. Because
I
I
mean,
remember that.
it, I've always been a person to move around. I
Yes, you
mean,
have.
when I was 18, I took a. You remember that trip I took? Was
Colorado.
Yeah, it was 3 weeks long. I went to Colorado, Utah, Arizona, California.
I'll
Like
always remember that girl story.
yeah. I just went all over the place for 3 weeks. I was gone. It was over 6,000 miles, and it it was an amazing time. I took my camera with me. I took a drone with me. Um, and if I didn't have those things with me, I wouldn't have like taken the paths I took. I
Yeah,
would have driven. I would have driven the same road everyone else took. I would have like walked the same path everyone else did. But it it like sets you. It sets you on your own unique path. And that's the thing about this industry and like this kind of passion is that there is an art that you can tap into, and it's like it's unlike no one else's.
dude.
Everyone has their own way of telling a story, whether it's through a picture or through audio or a video. Everyone has their own way, and I'm finding my own way, and that's really exciting.
That's actually, I'm quite excited. Malachi told me his answer because he's been doing it for a while. I told him my answer about modeling and everything, how I want to make an impact on the world. I'm so excited to see what your answer is going to be. What is that true feeling inside you that says, this is what my impact's going to be? So I'm definitely excited to see what you say to me in 6 months or 7 months, or if you figure it out sooner. You're a quick learner. That's always been that way. Okay, so this is a hard question, I would say, for anyone. What makes you better than other photographers? What makes you different? What is it, little? Is it big? Do you have that answer yet? Makes you different?
Oh man, I'm so hard on myself still. Like that's something I'm still working on is not being good enough,
Yeah.
still. So I'm so hard on myself still, bro, that I still feel like I'm not the best. And I know that like every month, every day I do something new. Every day I learn something, and I can look at other people and I'm like, I play the comparison game a lot. It's not a healthy game, but I play it a lot, and I see that like I've learned. I'm ahead. There are always people below me, and there are always people ahead of me, but I'm always looking at the people ahead of me. So
Yep.
it's hard for me to look at myself and go, I'm worthy of doing this. Um,
I do the same thing.
yeah, yeah. So, um, I mean, I can't really answer that question. Uh, I don't know if I have the answer to that.
Dude, there's no problem. That's a hard question to ask. I asked.
Yeah, it
It
is.
just it takes experience and it takes a while. Seriously, it took me
Mhm.
I think a solid 2 years before I even figured out that question. But okay, so I do the same thing. That's kind of quite ironic. I compare myself a lot too to other people, and I stopped doing that. I would say about 3 months ago. I stopped doing it as much, and I stopped comparing myself, getting mad about myself where I am. Why am I not there yet? Why is it so hard? What is going to be something you're going to do to stop doing that? Because that's a hard route. That's something that I say any person goes through if they're trying to find their passion, comparing themselves.
Yeah, not playing the comparison game. I talk to my brother a lot about this. So that's one thing that helps
Okay.
is being open about it to like anyone who you're close with. And whether it's in your passion, if you're playing a comparison game, you can be playing it in all kinds of ways and any scenarios. Like you can be playing it with your passion, you could be playing it at work, looking at like the status of one employee, and there's you, and then or your looks. You can be looking in the mirror and being like, why am I not? Why is my nose this way, my lips that way? Oh, I just don't feel right about this, and none of it's healthy. None of it's healthy at all. And talking to people about it is, dude, it's all about communicating with people. It's seriously all about being open and communicating with people about what's going on up here.
Yeah. And I know that was one of the hardest things for you for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that you noticed that and that you can do that a lot. Do you say do you just say you're comfortable with it now? Like even if it's a stranger, like you're talking to me, but you're also talking to 2,000 people who probably have been on here looking at us.
Yeah. I mean, there are some things where I'm like, that's no one's business, right? But
yeah.
But there are, you just gotta be able to draw the line and not draw it so fast. Not go no. You like not let people in because of what they're gonna think about you.
Okay, dude, that's amazing. Dude, that's really amazing. I'm really happy for you. My question is that you have a big project coming up, the music video.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say about that? You are a young guy who just got started, is learning still, doesn't know as much as the others, but is getting there. Do you feel like this music video is just a huge stepping stone that's going to teach you so much?
Yes, I do.
Tell us about it a little bit.
Well, I have done videos before, never a music video. I have done my own versions of videos, something that I personally created, but this is different because it's teamwork.
Yeah.
And I've worked with teams before in the insurance industry. I've worked with teams in the grocery industry, and I've worked with teams in schools, but in my passion, I have not yet. And so learning to work with other people and like everyone else's ideas and not just shutting them down right away. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I never told you this, but a week in, I was this close to being like, I'm just going to call Spencer and tell him that like I'm out. Find a new guy.
Okay. Can I ask why?
Because I didn't want to give it a chance.
Okay.
That's why. Because I looked down the road and I said, that's going to be really hard. But then I just remember the training and everything and what it's all about. And giving things chances, man, like that's a big thing. Just like give it time. That's a big thing I've learned. Give it some time. Not just like grind, but grind, and you don't have to see instant results. And that was the thing. I wasn't seeing instant results. I wasn't like, oh, the storyboard's coming together. Oh, we got like the song written. I thought like we had to have that stuff instantly. Like I am that kind of person where I want things done fast. You know that
too.
So that was a big thing for me. But overall, the meetings and stuff and learning to work with you and Zay and Malachi, Miriam, and the new artist you brought on, like, by the way, this guy is a beast at putting together teams. I mean, I am really impressed with how you've put together a team of people, and it's something that I wouldn't have had the drive to do. But I will tell you, I'm grateful to be a part of this team. I really am now. Overall, the meetings I've seen us all grow, and all of us like get to know each other and open up a little more. And I'm just like, damn, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like we're a squad. We are a squad with camera gear and acting skills and singing and like instrumental skills. It's freaking awesome. So,
dude, that's amazing. I'm happy you're on. One of the things that I've noticed because of the fact, let me ask you this. Do you think it's an advantage that you're working with 5 people in the group, but people have been working for 2 years straight on? 2 years, 3 years, have a lot of experience. Do you think it's that you're going to learn faster because of all that? In my opinion, what
are you talking?
Your photos, for one, your photos are amazing. That's why I don't like shooting with a lot of
Thanks,
people.
bud.
Yeah. So to be completely honest, I don't shoot with people that waste my time. I just don't. I've hit that phase where I'm tired of it. I don't shoot with people that waste my time even a little bit, or don't talk to them, or I don't even text them because they're not worth my time and I don't want to waste my time. But with
Yep.
you, I said I would shoot with you, but I didn't know exactly if it was going to be a friend or a person that was an actual professional.
Mm-hmm.
And I took you aside and said, he's not my friend at this moment when you sent me that photo. I was like, do I want to take this opportunity to shoot with this guy and see if he wants to shoot with me? Dude, your photos are excellent. When Malachi first shot me in the first photo shoot, it was not like that. I'm not comparing.
Ooh.
What I'm saying is we all take different routes. And why I'm saying that is because I think you're learning faster because you get to hang out with all of us and learn each subject. That's
That
so
is true.
cool. None of
That
us,
is true.
I didn't start by looking at Mary and be like, I could learn music. I didn't
Yeah.
start by looking at Malachi and be like, I could learn videography. I didn't start looking at Zay and be like, I get to learn a whole other concept. You didn't start looking at me and be like that. So what is that you think you have brought the most? You're learning so much from everyone. Do you agree that's going on?
What, like, you're asking me what am I bringing to the table?
Yeah, I'm asking what is that you feel like since you're around so many people who are experienced, what is that you're bringing to the table? Because I know what it is. I'm just asking what you think it is.
I'm bringing fresh ideas, man. Like I I know I'm not. I know that I'm gonna be like learning mostly, but even someone who just like learns stuff is still like they have good ideas, and I think like I just I just have the drive now. I know I do.
Dude, that's exactly what I was going to tell you. You have that freaking drive that all of us have. That is what I was
Yeah.
going to say. The reason why to be completely honest, Levi, if you were saying honest that you were going to quit, I was saying honestly, why do I want you on here? I was asking myself that.
We were
I
feeling
wasn't
the
looking.
same energy. We were feeling the same energy, honestly.
I said, why? I love you. You're my best friend. But I
Mm.
totally, when I come to business work, that's something that helps me or benefits my friends. I ask myself, why the hell do I want Levi on here? Why? And I took a chance on you. And Malachi came up to me. He's like, try it. Just try it. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. For that first meeting, I knew when you were being assertive, you were being on
Good.
time.
That's a nice word for it. That's a really nice
Yeah,
word.
you were being assertive. You were telling people exactly, even though you were the guy who just didn't know much, you made it look like you knew a lot. And I was like, that's exactly how I did it. And that is exactly why I thought that is why he needs to be on the team. He's assertive. He's determined. He has the drive we all have. Give him a freaking chance. Because when I was younger, I would have took that chance. And for the people who gave me that chance, that's why I gave you that chance.
Good to know, bud.
Dude, my last question to you, man. We have a couple minutes left. Do you think through this whole process, everything we talked about, working out, the emotions, quitting your job, the passion, the fun times, just us, you and me being together emotionally, do you think God helped you through all that process and said, I need Spencer and Levi to be together and just talk always and work through this whole process together? Do you think it was weird that God brought you and me to working out that one day and just brought us through all this process together?
Interesting question. To be completely honest, there like my faith has taken a toll. It took a big toll. It took a heavy hit in 2020. So where I'm at with like God is like I don't have an idea anymore of like what he looks like. I don't know if it's a big dude in the clouds or if it's a dude that's like around me all the time or if it's like whatever. I just don't know. Um, I went through a time where I didn't think there was a God.
Yeah.
So everything that happened, it was just like by chance.
Yeah.
Where I am now with that is I hope there is one. I hope there is because I do still say prayers and I have no idea like if it's worth it. But if there is one, then that's cool. That's where I'm at with it. And so I don't think that we were put together by like a master being. If my thought process is if we were, that's really dope. But also if we just ran into each other by chance and like we're here now, that's also really cool. And I'm thankful for it either way.
Dude, that's amazing. That's a different perspective, and that's a good perspective to look at it. Okay, man. Last minute, advertise yourself a little bit. Tell the people you've had a good 1,000 or more on here. Advertise yourself a little bit. Why do people want to get to know you more? Why do people want to follow you? Why do people want to contact you? Give me a little advertisement. What's up?
Oh man, I I have a bunch of new ideas coming, and it's really all around this house. I built a tiny house like no other. This thing has, I call it powers. Like
Yeah.
this house has powers. You know what they are, Spencer, but I'm not gonna tell them right now. I'm gonna make videos about them. I just started a YouTube channel last night, actually. So I have one video up there, and I recommend you checking it out. It's my it's the first like full video I've really tried for editing, like drone work, GoPro, professional camera. But I have that on. I started my YouTube channel. I want to do some more videos around the house, and I'm just gonna try new stuff.
Dude.
Here's the difference: is that when I have an idea, I'm gonna stick to it. That's what I'm doing. I'm not gonna ask myself, well, is this what people will like? You're gonna see some raw, pure, authentic ideas.
Dude, that's amazing, man. All right, man. I love you. I'm happy I got to talk to you. I miss you, bro. I'm excited to see you for the music video, and I'm excited to see you Saturday, man.
Miss you too, bro.
All right. Peace, my man. Thanks for being on the Everyone Show, bro.
It's a pleasure, buddy. I'll see you later.
See ya.